Ready? Play.
Okay, let's have a look at Tsitsipas and Sonego before we wrap things up. Tsitsipas, I mean, can it get any worse for Stefanos?
No, and I feel like I didn't see any sort of commentary from him. Obviously, I was kind of expecting some sort of statement, some sort of emotion after losing such a tight battle to Hamad Miljotovic. Obviously, Hamad got injured and was kind of on one leg for the last two games, along with the tiebreak. Stefanos really just had to put the ball in play and make him move a bit and was not able to do that. Shout out to Hamad. Crazy serving. So I won't take everything away from Steph, but this is a little bit harder, I think, of a spot for him compared to Doha, where he gets such an offensive player in Sonego, who looks to take the ball early, looks to rush you. Those are all things that Stefanos does not want, especially with a quick court and that one-hander still not holding up, as he'd like.
Good news for Stefanos is he does have a 3-0 head-to-head, but they haven't played since 2023, and they haven't played on hard since 2021 in Cincinnati. So it's a 3-0 head-to-head with Stefanos winning in straight sets in Miami, 3 sets in Cincinnati, and then straight sets on the clay in Rome. Again, it's a tough one to call. I'm a bit with you with Stefanos, and we did hear some comments after the Australian Open first round loss that he had there, where he was just basically saying that, I mean, I saw a few balls in Australia that I thought he would be able to run down, but he didn't run down. And I was wondering at the time whether he was really up for that fight. And he said exactly that in his press conference afterwards. He's kind of in that no man's land. I mean, he's currently ranked 11 in the world, I think. I mean, it may change slightly in the next 24 hours or so before the next week's rankings come out. But basically, he's around about 11 in the world. So he's in that sort of, he's not fighting for, top 5. He's been in the top 10 for the large part of the last sort of 5 years. So, it's not like he's hanging on to a top 10 spot anymore. He's not even fighting for titles. He's kind of fighting for quarterfinals and semifinals at this level. And I think it is difficult for him with so much talent and having been so high in the game and so vaunted for him to, keep that motivation up, right?
Right. I think it's tough. And you kind of circle that Cincinnati match on a similar court that it will be as Dubai. And that was kind of when Stefanos was playing some of his better tennis. I don't really know what Sonego was like back in 2021, but I don't think it was amazing. So it just shows you, the surface there playing a factor, probably some of the quickest courts on tour in Cincinnati.
And Sonego had an excellent Australian Open as well. So they had very different Australias. And you're right, Sonego is probably sort of at his best. I mean, he's currently ranked 36. He's 29, so he's, a couple of years older than Stefanos, but arguably he's sort of coming close to his best tennis of his career. And yet something tells me Stefanos is going to pull this out of the bag and get that win and make it 4-0. What are you suggesting?
I would love that, John. I would love that. I think he's the most due, just for a win. And that's sad to say, for a player who stuck around in the top 10 for, I think it was 4 years straight. Just searching for form, searching for confidence. But I think this is just just not a guy you want to see in the first round who, like you said, I think he's playing some of the best tennis of his career, almost dating back to that U.S. Open versus Tommy Paul. I think he lost in 4 ultimately, but I remember that match just being, wow, like he takes the ball so early, he goes for it so big. And he's kind of hard to read. He's coming with offense, but, he backs himself.
Beat Fonseca in 5 sets recently as well.
Exactly. A great Australian Open. I think he just ran out of gas. But
I mean, he played a lot of tennis in Australia before eventually going up. But yes, listen, Brenner, big thanks for today, not just for these last couple of sort of previews, but also for the work you've done both today. And it's been great to have you on board, and I'm sure we'll be catching up with you very soon.
Appreciate it, John. Thanks so much for today. It was a great final, and looking forward to the more matches ahead.
Do check out as well Brenner on social media. I've got this at Simon Says Tennis Twitter account, so do give Brenner a follow. I nearly called you Simon there, Brenner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brenner Says Tennis and follow Simon, but you know what I mean. Follow Simon Says Tennis on Twitter or X or whatever you like to call it, and we'll catch up with you soon.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.